Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. Now, Spit Squad, Bankroll Freddie spoke about his arrest. Before I give y'all opinion, I'll tell you what he said. Ain't no way these folks give me 12 and a half years on marijuana and a gun charge of first time offender. Never been in no trouble. My guidelines went from 60 to 78 months, which is 5 to 6.5 years, to 9 to 10 years of bogus upward variance. These prosecutors and judges have a vengeance against me and my state for fighting them. Every charge I beat on my case, they gave me upward variance. If that's the case, I could have just copped the plea for less time, then that could make it make sense. The judge and prosecutor mad I went to trial and beat 7 of the 10 charges and I didn't bow down to them. This is cruel and unusual punishment. I will not go for this. I'ma fight for my life and what's right. I got 5 kids who love me dearly and I'm not finna just let these folks do just anything to me. I'm finna stand up and fight the system. If people with way worse charges than me, criminal history, terrible, and got less time than me, this is a personal. They got some personal against me, and that ain't right. We gotta stand up. Racism is real, especially in my state, Arkansas. If people got less time for murder than I got for marijuana, I can't go for that. Now, I'll give 2 opinions, right? My first opinion is that he's right about everything he's saying. The second thing is that it's a known fact that when you go to trial against and they give you a plea, they often try to give you more time just for taking them to trial. And he right about that too, man. That is something that is terrible, but that is something that is known. In the culture of court and the criminal culture and black culture or rap culture, you always hear people say, man, don't take them people to trial. Them people gonna hang you. And that shouldn't be the instance. I feel like that's retaliation, and they shouldn't be able to do that. If they offer you a plea for 5 years just to get the guilty plea, and then you go to trial and they give you 20 years, well, that's something crazy, man. They should not be allowed to do that to you. And when he speak on his trial, I haven't looked at it, but when he speak on what happened in his case, he basically saying my sentence shouldn't have carried more than 6.5 years, but because of the stipulations they added to it, they were able to trump it up and make me go more. And I shouldn't have had more time anyway, because I beat 7 of the 10 charges. Now, if I would have gotten all of the charges, it could have carried up to this. But a lot of times when you go against the state, a lot of time them people don't like you, the way you deal with them. Also, it depends on how you turn down a plea deal. You know what I'm saying? We just saw this in Young Thug case. They tried to give Young Thug a plea deal where he would be able to walk that day. Then he turned down a plea deal and the state basically said, okay, we want 25 years out of him right now. And the judge said, no, we're not doing that. And one thing we have to understand, if Young Thug was not Young Thug, they would have given him them 25 years. And this happens to black men all around the world. And I know some people may listen to this and say, oh, this isn't about race. It's definitely about race. If you go look up, it's white men who do the same crime as black men who get less time. Those white men get less time for doing the same crime. So it's just something that need to be fixed. But I will say this, and Bankroll Freddie just being accountable for his actions, he shouldn't have put himself in a position where this could have been done to him anyway. And one thing I say, and I said this about Dougie B in my other video, if you have a fan base, if you get millions of views, all you have to do is drop more music. And I understand that some people be in record label deals and they're not able to drop music as frequently as they want, but you can get creative. Maybe you can drop merch. Maybe you can do more concerts. It's something you can do to get more legal money. Now, like I say, people who fresh out the street, people who coming up, if they get caught in something like this, but Bankroll Freddie has been doing music long enough in order to try to figure out something else that he can do besides getting caught in whatever he was allegedly caught in. And I mean, he beat 7 out of the 10 charges. So it's a possibility that he wasn't guilty of any of them, but because of the guidelines and the way the case was presented, the jury had to find him guilty of 3 of them based on how they put these cases together, man. The system is definitely racist. And one thing I always tell y'all, man, It's not always racism, but it's always about race. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair.